Hello everybody, this is Lucien at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. Once again, I want to welcome you to our all ages beginner/intermediate Hung Kuen Kung Fu class. We're going to run through a series of fundamental warm-up exercises, little light stretching, some bridges, low, middle, and high in a horse stance. We're going to do some punches and some kicks, and then we'll move on to 5 stances. First form, second form, third form, so Moy Fa Kuen, Lao Ga Kuen, Bumbu Kuen, and so on. Right now we're at 900 and I think it's 80 or 79 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000. If you would all enjoy the content in our classes, please do help support our efforts by subscribing. If we can get to that 1,000 subscriber benchmark, we get monetized by YouTube, which means we are never asking you for any contribution financially, but it helps support the space that we have here and all of the equipment. And we stream classes live 4 days a week, and we try to offer a lot of value. So hopefully you appreciate that enough to hit that button. I was looking at the analytics the other day, and something like 80% of the people who watch these classes are not yet subscribed. So it's just clicking a button and you're done. It's pretty easy. And it doesn't cost you anything. All right, so anyway, all of that being said, we're going to start with our feet shoulder width. Actually, I'll move up just a little. Nice big hoop, and we turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Reaching over. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Raise the arms up. Bend at the waist, keeping the legs straight. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Middle one time, we inhale and exhale. And again, 1, 2, 3. Right, 2, 3. Left, 2, 3. Middle once, inhale and exhale. Give me 1 sec. I just realized I hadn't clipped the microphone cable off, and I don't want that to come off. All right. Continuing. 1, 2, 3. Right, 2, 3. Left, 2, 3. Middle once. We inhale and exhale. Hands on the waist. Rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Crossing the hands, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Rotation, looking all the way around. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Opening up the feet, arms out. Turning the waist, try to look behind you. Let the arms go along for the ride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good job. Cross the fingers. We turn to the right. Keep your back straight. Bend your right knee. Left heel off the floor. Stretch that thigh. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, and 3. Both feet flat. Right leg straight. Switch. Switch, toe up. Switch. Okay, standing up, we turn to the right, both legs apart, both legs straight, bend at the waist. Good, let's switch. Stretch. To the middle. Okay, let's bring the feet in, toes out, hands together, elbows between your knees, putting a little bit of pressure on the inside of your thigh, on the knee to open up the hip. Stretching the hip joint and the ankle there. Okay, let's sit. Ooh, something a little sharp there. Both feet together, butterfly position. Okay, right leg out, left foot in, stretch towards your right leg. I should say towards your right foot. And we switch, stretch. Both feet out front, hands behind you, bounce, switch, and up. Okay, deep breathing, palms up, elbows down, elbows out, inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Next, we're going to open up into a horse stance. We start with our feet slightly apart, parallel, flat on the floor, hands at the sides in what we call a ready position. We make fists, elbows back, fists to the waist, knuckles up. Bend the knees, heels, toes, heels, and toes. Feet should be parallel and flat. Knees bent in an outward direction, not in. Nice, fat, healthy horse we want to sit on. Fists on the waist. And we're going to punch Ping Choi, reverse punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Now we do low block. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block. We lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Now we'll do Lim Wam Sam Sik. All three on the same arm. Low, middle, high. 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 Low, middle, and high. Closing. 1, 2. Now we're going to combine the low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1 and 2. Dan Chi Kyo Sil. Okay, so you squeeze down all your fingers except for your index finger. Pull the elbows back, hands at the chest. The hands are going to return to this starting position no matter which direction we go to. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In front of you, shoulder width, shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. And we close. Now closing the stance, heels, toes, heels, toes. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Very good. All right, now we're going to do punches. Left hand on the waist, feet shoulder width, and the knees slightly bent. Bending the knees is important. If your knees are locked straight and you're punching, all that movement's going to upset your balance, and you don't have a strong connection to the ground, which means you can be knocked over when you try to hit someone. That's the reverse of what you want. So you're going to bend the knees slightly for stability, kind of shock absorb. Left elbows out to the side of the body, hand on the waist, a fist in the middle, and we lift the elbow, thrusting the fist straight out, drop the elbow, bringing it straight back. Go. Okay, switch and punch. Okay, stop, turn to the side, and punch. Okay, stop, switch, punch. Okay, stop, both fists by the ears, Hiwa Choi. Turn the body, drop the fist down at an angle to the opposite knee, and switch. Make sure you're always bringing the other hand vertical by the side of the ear. This protects you on that side. Even though you're going to turn the waist, remember, keep your knees bent, and don't turn your head because you would lose sight of your opponent who's in front of you. Okay, stop. Bina choi, edge of the fist. We raise the elbow parallel to the floor, shoulder height. We want to strike out horizontally with the edge of the fist. And go. Okay, switch, punch. Very good. Now we're going to do Cheilun Choi, cartwheel punch. The hands are going to cycle one over the other in a circle, and both hands are going to maintain the center line. So I don't want to do this shoulder width or even close to center. I want right in the center with both fists. Okay, stop. Kwa Choi, back of the fist. And switch, punch. Okay, stop. We're going to point our right toe to the corner. Line up your left foot with the heel of your right and step straight out, lightly touching like a cat. There's no weight on your front foot. Left fist out, right arm's in a low block position, but with a fist. We're going to switch feet and hands. So you're going to switch to your right foot forward and punch with your right. Don't bring your weight forward. Keep your weight on the back leg. Switch. Good. Deep breathing. Very good. So next we're going to do kicks. We're going to do 6 kicks each leg. We're going to start kicking with the right, so your left foot is in front, and you want to be in a leaning stance. Your back leg is straight. Your left knee is bent, the toe over the knee. A lot of times people sit back like this. You want to shift your weight forward. Left hand on top. We're going to switch by punching with the right, toe out with your left, lift your knee, and kick with the toe pointed, step straight back, and punch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. Okay, same thing, but we're going to push out with the heel this time. Otherwise, the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Notice we don't drop the hands when we kick. You still have to protect yourself. Keep your frame up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Straight leg kick. This is the only kick we do where we're not going to bend the knee. We're going to keep the leg straight. We swing it up and straight back. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, let's switch. Wong So Hei, it's a roundhouse about waist high. In this one, we're going to lift the knee and turn the knee over. Turning the knee over is important. A lot of times a round kick, people just bring the foot up at an angle. But you need to turn the knee over to get that direction for that round kick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, deep breathing. All right, so by the way, just want to let everyone know we're going to be starting a new series because we've been streaming all these classes live. It's an hour and a half for the Tai Chi class in the morning, and our beginner Kung Fu class at night, and our advanced Kung Fu class at night. A lot of these classes are an hour and a half format, which we feel adds a lot of value, right? For our students who are physically coming to classes in real life on site at our location. It's good for them, but also for those at home, if you want to follow a class from start to finish, you get all of this great content. At the same time, we recognize an hour and a half might also be a long time for people to commit to watching a class or content, especially on social media like YouTube, Facebook, that type of thing. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to be editing out kind of the finer details. Sifu offers a lot of amazing instruction here, both in Tai Chi and in Kung Fu. And we're going to be restreaming sections of those classes that have some of that content that might be of really strong interest to you. So if there's anything specific that you want to see, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know as soon as I'm back behind the equipment at the end of this class when Sifu comes in to take over. I'll see all those comments, and I'll definitely take that to heart as we start cutting out sections of those past classes and streaming out that content. So some of those videos might be a half hour, some of those videos might even just be a 5 or a 10-minute video. And those will all also be archived on our website, on our YouTube channel, our website, and Facebook as well. All right, so next up we're going to do 5 stances. 5 stances, if you're new to this channel, is our the first real drill that has a sequence to it that we teach. It's not the first form because it's not really a form per se. It's just a drill. And this drill is designed by our teacher, Calvin Chin, to help us to learn the fundamentals of footwork and basic technique to coordinate that with the body and the legs and get everything working in a coordinated fashion. We're going to do it in 4 directions. So if you can't see from one side, you should be able to see from the next. Even though we're using this one camera. We also have these mirrors here, so at the front, the side, and the angles. So hopefully that will help as well. If you can't see something looking directly at my image on screen, try to look in one of the mirrors and see if you can capture the detail that you're looking for. All right, so here we go. We make fists, raise them up to the chest, open the palms, drop the elbows, vertical palm, and strike out. Palms up, make fists, pull, vertical elbow lined up with the shoulder. Open, we push. 1, 2, 3. Double elbow, press, thrust, press, and we close. Now we bring our right fist on top, bend the knees, step out to an offset horse stance, chun kill, sliding step, leaning stance, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, withdraw like an elbow strike behind you, but you're also removing, turn the waist, and stance, punch. Toe out, big cross step, all your weight's on your right leg, the heel of your left foot is off the floor. Make a big hoop with your arms, both hands are fists, and we turn to the right, dragon whips the tail. We pivot out, make sure you're still in a toe to heel offset horse stance, and we open in an even fashion, so you don't want to just throw the backhand. You want to bring your right fist to the waist at the same time. We make a circle with the left hand, cat stance, punch. Notice the left hand protects the ribs. Step straight back, cover. Turn, leaning, high block and low block. Left knee up, turn, drop and chop, step out, press and uppercut. And we close. I'm going to move over here. Hopefully you were able to follow along with that. And we're going to come towards the camera this time. So we go right fist on top, offset horse stance, chun kill, sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. toe out, big cross step, big hoop, turn to your right, dragon whips tail, spin out, corner back fist to the head, intercept, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover, high block, low block, left knee up, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, and we close. All right, so now we're going to take it to that direction. Right fist on top, chun kill, sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, big hoop, dragon whips tail, spin out, corner back fist to the head, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover, high block, low block, lift, turn, drop and chop, uppercut, and close. Good. I'm going to offset myself from the camera. We're going towards the mirrors now. Right fist on top, chun kill, punch. Step through, elbow, punch. Cross step, big hoop, turn your waist, corner back fist to the head, intercept, cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block, left knee up, turn, drop and chop. Uppercut, close. All right? Let's do deep breathing. So that drill, that's kind of a fundamental or beginning drill that we do, but it has a lot to offer. A lot of times people, they think, oh, well, you know, if I learned iron wire, there's going to be better information in that, or if I learned the 5 or the 10 images, there's going to be better information in that than there is in the first form. First forms are basic. But you need those fundamentals. They inform everything else you do, and they really improve your technique. So taking your time and being diligent with something like this, regardless of your skill set, you could have been a brand new student or you could have been a practitioner for 30 years, you still can benefit from that type of training. And if you look at it, you know, we're a traditional school. You know, we teach traditional Lam family Hung Kuen here. And this is how they train. They don't train kind of out of order. Okay, you're going to, let's start you on 10 images, or let's start you on iron wire, or let's start you on the 3-section double chain whip. Those are not things that you start day one. You take a measured, diligent approach to your practice. You practice your fundamentals until that practice has an effect on your movement and your ability. And that's really kind of, there is no secret, but that's kind of the secret to it, is just you work the fundamentals until they turn into something more. All right, so next up we're going to do first form. That's Moy Fa Kuen, the Plum Flower Fist set. This is the first form that we teach here at Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. I'm only going to do this to the directions of the footwork, the mapping of the footwork of the form. So unlike 5 stances where we went to 4 different directions, we're just going to go where this form goes sequentially. But hopefully you'll still be able to see in the mirrors. If there's something you missed and you have any questions, we love hearing from you. Please do comment in the comments section. Even though I can't answer it right away, I will be behind the scenes as soon as Sifu comes to take over. And I'll be happy to get those questions answered live in real time before the class ends. Okay, so here we are. Make fists, raise them up. Salute. Step out, high block, low block. Pull your foot back, cross step, cross hands, step out, dragon. Right fist on top, step back, chun kill, scoop. Step up, press, uppercut. Left hand on top, cat stance, low block, remove. Step up to leaning, punch. Squatting, high block, hammer fist. Step out, press, uppercut. Cat stance, remove. Punch. Toe out, cat stance, high block, hammer fist. Step out, cross block. Turn to the rear, to the middle, even motion with the arms and the waist. Drunken punch. Left hand underneath, remove, high block. Step up, punch. Squatting. Uppercut, sliding step, punch. Squatting, high block, hammer fist. Right elbow up, step up, press, lift, cut. So when you cut, turn the fingertips down, palms out, and then pull your elbows back. A lot of times people cut with the hands, but actually it's the bridge. The elbows pull back to the waist. Step out to offset, turn, double palm strike to the waist. Don't lock your arms. Right hand's a fist, remove, punch. I'm going to move up just a little bit this way to stay on camera. We toe out, step to the rear, come across, left hand underneath, elbow, rolling elbow. So the back elbow is a thrusting or a penetrating elbow, Engjang, and this is a rolling elbow. You have to let the shoulder relax and let it go. Low corner back fist, palm strike to the chest. High block, shift your weight to your right, pick up your left foot, outside crescent, clears the way, hop kick, press, turn your waist, trapping hand. Sit up, turn, back fist, remove, punch. Right fist on top, step in, step back, clear the way with the left foot. Chun Kyu, sliding step, palm strike. Pull your foot back half the distance of your stance. Cross step, press, kick, punch. Dragon. Right fist on top, Chun Kyu. Sliding step, punch. Middle block, salute. 1, 2, 3, and we close. So, deep breathing. Okay, so a lot of times we see people using maybe what we would consider inappropriate strength, where you put a lot of muscle in your arm and you're trying to make your arm as strong as it can be. And the reality is that's not really how the strength of a punch happens. If the strength of a punch depended on you having gigantic biceps, you'd see a lot more bodybuilders who were boxers, and you don't, right? Generally, you see bodybuilders who are pretty lean, or even at the heavy weights, they might be heavy, but they're not super diesel from lifting a lot of weights. And I'm not saying anything negative against lifting weights, but as our sifu Calvin Chin says, training is specific to the task at hand. Whatever you want to do with your body, you have to train that thing to become good at it. So if you lift a ton of weights, you become really good at lifting weights. Your punches don't improve. If you want your punches to improve, you have to practice your punches. And so a lot of times when people are doing their form and they want to show the technique, they punch, you can see that they've put a little extra kind of strength in it, and it's really not necessary. What's needed is that you set your position and then you turn and you drive that movement with the legs and the waist, and it goes to where it has to go. If you have a lot of strength in your arm, you can't move. You become isolated, immobilized. But if you punch, it's not there anymore. Your arm's free to move. If someone were to press, you could adapt. And so that's one of the approaches that we use here. So hopefully that's something that you can pick up on. You don't need a lot of muscular strength. It doesn't mean that you don't put power in your technique. It just means that power comes from an accumulation of coordinating your lower part of your body, your upper part of your body, and everything comes together. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is Lao Ga Kun. This is the second form that we teach here. It's the Lao family fist set. It goes in kind of a box pattern and then to the front angles. That's the mapping of the footwork. And again, we're going to do it in that same kind of deliberate fashion. This is not for performance or competition, but this is at a teaching speed, a speed where hopefully you following at home can see what's happening and can duplicate that. If you just fly through it, you don't get to see everything. Okay, this is also true as someone who's learning. If you rush, you can't even see your own mistakes. If you take your time one to the next, you don't always like what you see in your movement, but if you notice that something's off, you can fix it, and that's how you improve. All right? So here we go. Ready position, make fists, raise them up. Left hand middle, turn to leaning. Pivot to leaning, facing the side. Toe out, cat stance. Square up to the front with your hoop. Salute. Bring your foot back, leaning stance. Pull your elbows in. Pivot, shift, pivot. Middle block, cat stance. Turn to the front, salute. Step back, we turn. Feet together, we close. 2 punches to the ears. 2 punches down. Cross, lift, push out. Scoop, cross step, middle. Cat stance, punch. Step straight back, cover. Leaning stance, high block, low block. Chop to the waist. Pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, punch. Whoop, sorry, I went right to first form. Step in, step back, clear the way, draw the bow, sliding step, punch. Now we're going to step all the way through to leaning as we lift our right fist, high block on the right side. Left palm strikes out. Now we turn, tendu-sil. So this comes like a figure, like a question mark, strike. Left hand's the middle block. Lift, high block, strike out. Remember that your left hand has to come out farther than your right hand. If you do this, you never hit the person back. Here you block and strike. Elbows down, turn. Gumlung Hunjiao, dragon claw, we turn to the front, toe out, big cross step, line up your wrists with each other in a straight diagonal line, high block, low block, pivot, palm strike to the waist, pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, double chop, cross step tendu, kick, phoenix eye, right fist on top, chun kill, sliding step, punch, left hand on top. As we step through, fold, strike, dropping palm, back fist, right fist on top, step out, chun kill, sliding step, punch, step all the way through, turn, tendu, lift, songgong, elbows down, dragon, turn, cross step, high block, low block, spin, palm strike, pull your foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, chop, tendu, kick, phoenix eye, both palms down, turn, cross step, flip, turn the wheel, step through, turn, push, cross step, scoop, cross step, flip, turn the wheel, push, step in, step out, low, uppercut, step in, step out, low, uppercut, step straight back, press with your left, middle with your right, reach out with your left, turn, chop to the neck, adjust your foot, thrusting elbow, dropping palm, back fist, pivot, 1, 2, sword finger, cross step, open, trap, thrust, middle block, salute to the corner, step back, 1, 2, 3, and we close. Nicely done. Deep breathing. Okay, so a couple of things there. We have the thrusting motion. So you have phoenix eye where we're here. We press, bring the elbow in, and thrust out. If I don't bring my elbow in, this becomes a back fist. That's not the direction of this technique. This technique, something comes this way, I push down and I bring my elbow in, and I thrust out. It is true that a back fist ending position and an uppercut ending position and a phoenix eye ending position, the forearm, your bridge, is roughly in the same position. But the direction of how it got there, that's the thing that actually matters. That's the thing that makes the technique either thrusting, rising, or falling, right? Those are things that also lend accuracy to technique. This is something that's, first off, a hallmark of Lam family Hung Kuen. You would recognize it right away if you see different people within our lineage doing Hung Kuen, that it's very accurate in its position and posture. And then the other thing is, to our school, we drill that a lot, that how you get there matters, right? Another thing is the turning the wheel. I think we started on this last week. It's both in the butterfly palm for second form, which we just did. It's also in the sweep, in the mantis form, Bumble Kuen, the 7-star praying mantis crushing step form that we also have in our Lam family curriculum because late great Grandmaster Lam Jo put it there. So that's why we have that form. But in any case, one of the ways that we can do this properly, because a lot of times people see the movement and they kind of over-exaggerate and they come out of position. And so if we're doing butterfly, you actually can't intercept a punch here just stepping and just using your arms. You don't have enough leverage to turn it to the side in the first place. But if you turn your waist, and now let's say that my left hand is on top, my right hand's underneath, I turn my waist again as I kind of turn this wheel, and the right hand ends at the shoulder, left hand at the hip, and I turn to the front. I turn to the left, right hand comes on top, I turn the wheel. So this is like turning the wheel. You can see how you cover your middle area this way. Turn the wheel, turn the waist, and then push. This is the same in the 7-star praying mantis crushing step form, where here we turn the wheel and we sweep. So this is how you intercept, right? So it's not just about getting to the final posture, it's the transition. How do you get there? And are you doing so in a way that actually works, all right? So those are things that I'd like you to kind of keep in mind and focus on for your own practice. So the next, we'll do third form, Bambu Kun. Again, that's the 7-star praying mantis set. I'm going to adjust my stepping just to stay on camera because I think, if I recall correctly, that camera can pick up to about there. And this camera also can kind of pick up to about here. And so I'll have to adjust my stepping because Bambu Kun is a northern form. And like many northern forms, it tends to be more linear, kind of longer. And so it travels, kind of takes up a bit of real estate here in that direction. So here we go. Raise the hands, bend the knees, press, lift, high block, hop, punch. Come across with your right hand, left hand comes underneath, switch stance, hop. 1, 2, 3, we thrust out, step through, punch, cross step, grab, knee up, put your foot down, elbow, back fist, turn, capture, put the foot down, sit, and turn. High block, ginger fist, scoop, vertical, hop, 1, 2, 3, thrust, punch, feet together, lift. Sifu, did you want to take over? You're welcome to. 1, 2, 3, thrust, step all the way through, punch, grab, step back, pull, low block, palm strike. I'm just going to make sure that you can still see. We step up, left elbow, toe out, cat stance, right elbow. Step out, high block, drop the elbow, step through, chop, scoop, double elbow, strike, punch, sweep, 1, 2, vertical, kick, hop, kick, thrust, strike, uppercut, press, lift, cut, turn, press, lift, cut, press, lift, cut, middle block, 1, 2, 3, uppercut, sweep, 1, 2, 3, turn, lift, sweep with the left, sweep, sweep, chop, hook, back fist, 1, 2, 3, thrust out, step through, punch, pivot, horizontal to vertical, pivot, step up, double elbow, and we close. And Sifu's here to save the day.
Bambu Kun, I don't know if anyone has noticed since we rearranged the mirrors, or I rearranged the mirrors, I don't know if you can see the imagery better, because while we have all these mirrors that are surrounding us, hopefully we're trying to give you a better perspective of what the movement looks like. Because as I said, learning from video is not that easy, simply because it's not just because it's two-dimension, but it's also because you're seeing it directly, it's sometimes backwards. So unless you have a good reference point, you really can't tell how the movement should be. So yesterday, if any of you watched the videos, I had some of the youth go through their forms. Actually, we used the second form as a guideline So I watched, probably half a dozen students go through the same form, and everybody looks a little bit different, and mainly because of their understanding and their coordination and how they've evolved. But once you finish your form, what do? You move on to your next form, or you should just keep adding more inventory to your, your learning curve. Because more forms doesn't mean more understanding, it just means more form. It is just memorizing more and more movements that really, if your body timing and coordination is not correct, you're just going to be building those same habits in more sequences. So that's not really the way you should be evolving. You should memorize your form, get it down so that you can go through your form without a lot of thinking or no thinking at all, which is ultimately what will happen. But what you should focus on is your footwork, your leg work, and it's not just beginners. At all levels, you should start working a better understanding of your legs. How we move in the stances and how we transition. So we have to always set up our legs before we move into a position and then build the timing off of that. So if you're in Hung Kuen, if you're in a chun kyo position, you draw and you take a sliding step and punch just like in the 5 stances, the first thing you have to do after you set up your hand is actually adjust this foot. So when you step through, you have a clear path to step through and then punch. So that's just a sample of what has to happen. Even if you're in an uppercut position or an uppercut position and you remove, punch, if you want to step through to the next movement, going in, say, like a movement in the second form, you have to turn that front foot out. If you make a 180-degree turn and you, in this punch position, you have to adjust this leg. So in the second form or any other forms that requires this turn, you have to adjust this back leg and then set up your body to elbow or turn in this direction to set up the hands. But you have to set your feet up so when you do your next movement, you're going to have a good base. So your base is your foundation. If you don't have a good base, you won't have a good upper body connection. So your foundation, which is your leg work, is most important. Even in second form, when you're in a position like this, after you chop and you hook like this, you have to pull this foot back. Then when you kick, you have to take your step forward, set up your knee, and then punch. That's where your footwork is. If your footwork is not good, your form is not going to be good. It doesn't matter how fast your hands are in the upper body. If you don't time the hand movement with the leg movement, if you don't time your hand movement with the uppercut, if you don't time your movement with the sink, then your legs are not trained correctly. So what you do after you've memorized the form is go back to relearning your form from the legs up. The hand movements we're probably pretty good with because most of us generally use our hands a lot, but we don't use our legs a lot. When you're doing bangbu kun, your sliding step, the way you shift your weight. So leg work is shifting of weight and accuracy of movement. When you're doing your butterfly palm, the important thing is when you turn to a leaning stance and you step and you step and you push and you step and you step. That's what you have to have. Set up your legs and turn into your stance in the direction. You do it like that, you're going to be measured into your leg work and you're going to take you into the corners like you're supposed to go. Sometimes people go into that corner and then when you end up doing this, you end up facing this way. That's because of your legs, your feet. Your feet have to be turning in a direction. When you step like this toe is pointing to that opposite corner. So when you go into your stance and you turn, now you're here. If you straighten this foot and you cross like this, there's your cross stance. This toe is facing that corner. If I step like this, this foot is facing that corner. Now they're parallel. Now I'm in that 45-degree stance. It's all measured, but the thing is, when you're first learning these movements, none of that is clear to you, but then it's not actually discussed because your focus is not on the details. Your focus is on memory of sequence. So if you want to evolve, improve your movements, improve your overall form, start looking at your footwork a little bit more, shift your weight. Most of the time people take that step, you get into the stance and then you're already stuck. You can't even get out of your stance. So you have to shift your weight, move through this leg, take your step, and then execute. You have to shift your weight from push off of this leg. You want to sit back, you have to sink in this stance, pull this leg back, and drop. You have to step forward. That means step. Don't just drop this foot forward. It doesn't do enough to set you up. The reason why is because your body is not building coordination. It's just dumping the weight into that leg. So if you understand that concept, then you have something to work with, because just learning more and more sequence isn't going to make your kung fu or skill level any better. First, understand the principle behind what's behind the footwork. Follow that, and if you build it into your first form, your second form, your third form, it's a guarantee that by the time you get to your fourth and fifth form, you're doing gung jeet kune or you're doing kungfu, or you start weapons, that your footwork is going to be much improved, so that when you learn those other forms, you won't have to go through this whole process again. This is just how you will evolve in the stages of development. You know, a lot of times people don't realize there are stages of development and levels of execution. That's why more advanced practitioners look better or know more things than a new person. It's really beyond form. It's really getting into the level of execution. So on that note, we're going to be doing class again tonight, and then tomorrow morning we'll have some more video. But as Lucien says, every one of our classes is streamed out. Live classes you can just watch and just pick up what you can see. Something like this, it's more directed to you as a viewer, and if you understand the theory and principles that I talk about, then you should definitely evolve. Okay, give us a thumbs up.